You've already seen the trailer, so you know Supergirl shows up at some point, but who's this hunk of metal? What evil plans does Waller have this time? And what does Jimmy do now that he's a millionaire? This is the story of My Adventures with Superman Season 2. For a refresher on Season 1, check out the card or see the description. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and this is a PSA for all of you as well. Sunset and ramen is not a grand romantic gesture. Lois pursues a lead on her story which pans out to be her boyfriend's spaceship. Now, let's play a game called How Many Episodes Until Jimmy's Empty-Headed Peanut Brain Burns Through $5 Million? He's already cashed out 6 figures to pollute this wonderful planet instead of flying there for free. A hologram of his father, Jor-El, gives him a recap of his Kryptonian heritage. Long story short, don't lose any sleep over a Kryptonian invasion because he's the last son of Krypton, save for his cousin Kara. Waller arrives to procure alien technology for whatever purposes, but Jor-El saves the day by tossing a flashbang and somehow evicting the trespassers. Superman agrees to help Lois rescue her father from Waller, and the episode cuts out before he can share his discoveries. Reports of missing employees at Stryker's prison has Lois playing Assassin's Creed in real life. They come across a stubborn General Sam who severely underestimated how evil Amanda can be. Since he's causing more trouble than he's worth, she plans to eliminate him. Additionally, the missing employees are discovered to be Waller's not-so-secret science project. Jimmy is busy spearheading a new Flamebird division within the planet. Everybody wants to jump onto the latest TikTok trend, and Lombard has a weird yacht obsession which might be exactly what they need to evacuate everybody from Strikers. We're running a tight ship around here, meaning no time for silly relationships. Sam is asked whether he would like to stay with the boys, and Waller is rescued by a television remote whereby she offers Lex Luthor a career. Amertech unveils a new line of robots which leaves much to be desired. Flip introduces the main characters to an Amertech whistleblower and lead engineer, Dr. John Irons. Basically, the company's claim to fame is a lie because we're not that far into the future to have already achieved 100% renewable energy. Instead, the fusion core powering its new line of metallo-defense robots is all but a ticking time bomb. Greedy CEO guy proceeds to activate said fusion core, but John Henry together with Superman shut it down before Metropolis is blown to smithereens. Lois and Vicky are locked in a heated battle to put out their article first. When Lois has Vicky beat, the latter decides to buy out her competition by offering Lois a job at the Gotham Gazette. Speaking of buying out the competition, Amertech and its killer robots are folded into LexCorp. Sam converts the apartment into a fortress of solitude and runs off like an Arkham Asylum lunatic. His paranoia is fully justified when Waller tries to have him killed by We Have Bane at home. In exchange for the alien tech he's been stealing from Waller, he's given documents to flee the country like an illegal immigrant. But Lois gives him sad puppy eyes and he changes his mind. However, all sales are final and Task Force X is hot on their tails. Meanwhile, Jimmy has been invited to the Star Labs Symposium to talk about Superman. Despite Jimmy saying otherwise, nobody can hear him over Luthor's propaganda about the danger Superman poses to society. When the Lanes crash the party, Luthor is quick to blame the alien. And that is why Superman is the #1 threat to society. Sam returns to the apartment, but Lois turns around for 1 second and he disappears by disappearing. Superman can't seem to get a hold of his girlfriend this season, so he goes ahead and activates the beacon to summon his cousin. This year's Bachelor and Bachelorette contest invited Superman as a finalist. Unless he's evil and hates children, he's going to show up because all proceeds are going to the children's hospital. Lois tells Clark to act super casual because Kat won't get off her back about Superman's secret identity. So casual that the successful and rich and smart Silver is unable to keep her hands to herself with all those intrusive thoughts. Convinced they must be dating, she laughs at the notion of Lois thinking she has a shot with an alien who can level mountains. Where have I seen her before? I'm not sure why she's got the Android 18 starter pack, but Jimmy learns her name is Kara and she's looking for her cousin. But before they play Where's Waldo, Jimmy takes her on a date all around Metropolis, including $384 worth of hot dogs. They arrive at the tail end of the contest where Lois storms out the door in jealousy. She finally reveals the job offer and he the beacon. She also takes dating advice from a deranged co-worker and breaks up with him. Kara confronts the weak servile clown she calls cousin. When Superman refuses to conquer the planet with her, they start throwing hands. However, the evil Kryptonian overpowers and then abducts the Man of Steel. At the mention of her father, Kal-El can barely contain his excitement to meet another Kryptonian. When he finds out about her and Jimmy, he can't not tease her about it. This iteration of Superman can apparently breathe in the vacuum of space where they have a very competitive snowball fight. Kara decides to showcase what a planet conquered for the Empire looks like, and to her surprise, Thanagar is anything but thriving. Kara fails to mention the one she's been calling Daddy is an AI called Brainiac, not a Kryptonian. Brainiac has ambitious plans for a new Kryptonian empire involving Superman. When Kara pesters him with questions, he deletes her browsing history for the past few hours and vanishes. She returns to Thanagar and begins piecing together fragments of her memories. Kara comes to the realization that the final boss had been using her like a puppet to destroy entire worlds. That's when Jimmy and company show up out of nowhere. Lois deeply regrets dumping Superman because who in their right mind wouldn't? She wants to make things right by convincing Jimmy to empty his bank account to bribe a supervillain into stealing a spaceship. If you guessed 7 episodes, congratulations, here's a cookie. Brain and Mallah are also invited into their Discord call because they need, well, brains and someone who can pilot. With everybody accounted for in a foolproof plan, the heist begins to fall apart almost immediately. They sweet-talk their way into Star Labs, the encryption is tougher than anticipated, and Waller glances at that one monitor feed everybody's praying she doesn't look at. They're chased around some by Waller's people, and even these guys are losing their jobs to robots. Livewire did not come empty-handed and it's smooth sailing from here. After a bit of tinkering, the portal machine leads them straight to the wrong alien. Using the Black Mercy to access his memories, Brainiac tries to gaslight the main character into thinking his friends hate him so he can steal his body. Meanwhile, his friends arrive to rescue him, and because she might not get a chance to later, Kara voices her admiration for Jimmy. She confronts her evil father, who confirms what she had already suspected. He's been brainwashing her to further his evil agenda. Sometimes, action speaks louder than words, and Kara delivers the finishing blow just as Kal-El drives out Brainiac from living rent-free inside his head. Just kidding. Superman fought valiantly, but his best wasn't enough. If it's not already clear he lost, here's a costume change for our visual learners. Kara doesn't stand a chance against the new Brainiac, and they're all evicted without notice. Despite everything that's happened, Lois is determined to go after Clark. The Man of Steel is stuck inside a simulation of his would-be life on Krypton. Each time Lois gets close to beating the level, the simulation resets itself before she can expose the truth. In the end, the power of love prevails and they punch their ticket out. While that was happening, our friends received a welcoming present from Waller. Brainiac's arrival on Earth is followed by a generic villain speech asking the population to surrender. Kara entertains Brainiac for the next few minutes until her cousin eventually regains control over his body. Talk about synergy, he debuts a new suit with subtle inspiration from James Gunn's Superman. Fuming at his defeat, the final boss decides to destroy the planet altogether. He purchases the Kryptonite Shielding Plot Armor DLC and borrows Luthor's robots. Our heroes didn't spend a whole season networking for no reason. Dr. Irons pulls out his big hammer, Livewire and company swoop in to rescue the Kryptonians, and these two set their differences aside. The Metallo robots broke sniping records just last episode, but conveniently have Stormtrooper aim for the season finale. The heroes blast a hole into the final boss's ship only to get laughed at. Blah blah blah, Brainiac pulled a Skynet and obliterated the Kryptonians all those years ago because they were going to press his power button. He tries to control Kara once more, but everybody gives her a big hug and talks her out of it like a CW show. In the process of tossing out Brainiac's house, they discover the sun supercharges their Kryptonian cells, and Supergirl whips out a new costume from thin air. Supergirl tears Brainiac in half because we're all about equal opportunities around here, Gotham is way too dark for Lois, and everybody lives happily ever after until season 3. If you're still window shopping, what are you waiting for? Subscribe! Insert marvelous outro here, and I'll see you in the next one.